Is it me or does Joseph Gordon-Levitt sound like Jack Black in that one scene of School of Rock when he answers the phone and he's like, "This is Mr. Sneebly"? I don't know, that's what I thought of. Yeah, a movie about Edward Snowden, I thought of Jack Black. That's whatever. Snowden. So Snowden's directed by Oliver Stone. Oliver Stone at this point, I don't really hold my breath for anymore. There was a time, some time ago, where people were like, holy shit, it's an Oliver Stone movie. This is an event. Now they're like, yeah, we'll see. So Snowden is about Edward Snowden. He's the guy in 2013 turned over those documents to the media showing that the US government was actually tapping and monitoring their own citizens to a very large and insane degree. I mean, you know that stuff like that's going to happen, but maybe there's probable cause, maybe there's a good reason. This was a lot of folks. Snowden was like, they have to be held accountable for that shit, so I need to let people know that this is happening. No, this is not the WikiLeaks guy. It was another movie starring Benedict Cumberbatch. It came out a couple years ago. This is a new thing. So what I liked about this movie is the questions it actually forces you to ask. That's the point of a movie like this. I mean, clearly this Snowden guy, he loves America. He loves his country. He wants to serve it well. But at that point, the movie forces you to ask, what is loyalty to your country? Is it loyalty to the government or loyalty to its citizens? The way I see it, loyalty to your country is loyalty to its citizens that make up the country. The government should serve the citizens, thus serve the country. It's kind of like that quote from V for Vendetta that I really like, where he says, people should not be afraid of their governments should be afraid of their people. I like that quote a lot, because it just shows that a government should have accountability to its people. At a point, this dude was like, there is no accountability here. People don't even know this is happening. They should probably be informed of that, so he did what he did. You kind of see it as a lot of times bad things or shady things start out with good intentions. I mean, even if you think what Snowden did was bad, he did it for good intentions. He did it so the government could have accountability to its citizens. But at a point, I'm very sure there was a good reason for the US government to be like, hey, we need to enact this and that so we can spy on these people because they should probably be spied on because they're tweeting bomb Obama White House murder and things are pretty that we should probably follow that person. And then they were like, well, let's just follow that person. All right, well, let's just tap that guy's internet. Well, let's just tap that guy's webcam. Let's tap his phone. Yeah, fuck it. And it just got out of control. And now it's kind of like the US government operates like Alonzo Harris from Training Day, where he's like, we're the police. We can do whatever the fuck we want. There's no accountability there. So anyhow, this movie forces you to be like, all right, what is loyalty to your country? Is it to the people or the government? I also like how it showed how a job like what Snowden had, where you're just bombarded with classified information, you can't tell your spouse, it really compromises your relationships, it makes you paranoid, it kind of wrecks you as a person. I mean, screw that noise. I'd never want a job like that. I'll take being the asshole online who talks about movies. Thank you. And I gotta say, Shailene Woodley in this movie, not only has she looked better than she's super hot in this movie, but beyond that, she was also the best I've ever seen her act. She stepped beyond the realm of the Divergent series, thank God, and now she's like, hey, why don't we kind of make me legit, because that shit ain't gonna last forever. Isn't the last chapter coming to straight to Blu-ray or something like that? It's fantastic. So I'm glad she actually got a couple moments to shine in this one. But I gotta say, the pacing in this movie was so slow. I mean, it's such an interesting thing that happened. This dude who worked for the NSA was like, yeah, I'm gonna take these files, release them to the press, and then now it's just out there. It was huge. The guy's been charged with espionage, treason, 100 other things. He's not allowed back into the country because God knows bad shit's gonna happen to him. The bummer is that really interesting movie happened to such a boring guy. So really, you're just watching a life happen. You're like, all right, yeah, he's gonna blow the whistle one day, right? Okay. It's kind of like not as bad. I mean, I need to illustrate this as not as bad, but it's kind of like that Michael Bay Pearl Harbor movie, how it's called Pearl Harbor, and you're waiting for that to drop, but in the meantime, you just kind of gotta go through the motions to get to the last half hour, but a lot better than that, but you get what I'm saying. It's interesting enough seeing this guy climb the ladder of the NSA, but it's only so interesting. This movie clocks in at about 2 hours, 20 minutes. That extra 20 minutes past the 2 hours could have been cut out somewhere. You could have just Frankensteined a bit and then crunched it up, and there you go. Guys, in the end, the concept of the story of Snowden is interesting, and it's a tale that should be told. However, this 2 hour, 20-minute movie that told it didn't always move faster than a snail's pace, and sometimes you're like, all right, let's get it going. And a lot of biopics run into this, and I would expect it in some cases, but a case like this, I would feel like this movie would have me at the edge of my seat the entire time. In the end, I saw a 10-minute interview with Snowden on John Oliver's Last Week Tonight, and I found that more interesting than the entirety of this movie. I'm going to push it on the premise of importance. The movie asks important questions, you reflect on important things, and me, personally, Jeremy Jahns, I found the movie interesting enough to say, I will say, Snowden is a good time, no alcohol required. Gonna say at matinee price. Something about those movies about those whistleblowers, man. It's just, you could just read about it online. All right, guys, so Snowden, have you seen it? What did you think about it? Or what do you actually think about what the dude, the real dude, actually did? Are you for it? Are you like, yeah, transparency among government and people should happen, glad he did that? Or are you like, no, fuck that shit, treason? I want to know what you think about it, so whatever you think, comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see more.